Welcome everybody. My name is Wet and Reckless, and this will be my first tutorial that I will be doing on some Exile stuff. So today's topic is going to be trying to start up a Chernarus Redux server. There seems to be a lot of people having some difficulties following the tutorials that are out there. So today what I'm going to do is just do a little video and show you how easy it is to switch over a vanilla server to Chernarus Redux. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a vanilla server already running and working. If you don't know how to get a server running and working via vanilla, nothing added, no scripts, no extra mods, no adjustments, I highly suggest going to this link here and within the Exile forums. I have used this multiple times over the last few years to start up all of my servers, and I haven't had a problem yet. SDOT keeps it updated, and it's really good. I'll leave the link provided below. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have a vanilla server here already set up for Tanoa. It works. I've gone in, made sure that player loads in at a spawn point, and loot table works. So what you're going to do first is you need to make sure you have all the mods available for Chernarus Redux work. Currently, as of right now, Chernarus Redux, to be able to work, requires Cup Terrains Core, DS Houses, and then obviously Chernarus Redux. So what you'll do is you'll make sure you have all three of those mods, and you can either drag and drop or cut and paste and drop them right on into wherever your server folder is. Like I did right here, pretty simple. Next thing you're going to want to do is make sure you have all your keys, copy and paste, and put them in the appropriate keys folder. Otherwise, people aren't going to be able to get into your server. Then you're going to do the same here. Just cut, paste, load it on in. Last one, DS houses. There, those are all done. The next thing is to kind of change up the wording here or shorten it up. The launch parameters doesn't do too well sometimes in accommodating spaces, so I like to either take the spaces out, or what you can do, some people like to do, is to accommodate a space is use an underscore. Here, just taking the spaces out. Simple, not that difficult to do. Alright, you're going to go down to your start bat, which is mine is right here. Open it up in Notepad++. If you don't know what Notepad++ is, or you use something else, by all means use that. So next is you want to add each server or each new mod on. And the way you're going to want to have the server load them is within order. So first things first is you're going to want to have at Cup Terrains Core. Make sure you put a semicolon afterwards. Then you're going to want to have DS Houses. Make sure that semicolon. And last but not least is going to be Chernarus Redux. All good. Nothing more to do here. Go ahead and save it. You can go ahead and shut that down for now. Alright, so we're good here. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to go down to your MP mission files. And this is your mission file. This is where your server will load from the map. So you can do one of two things. You can either change the name of this to Chernarus Redux, or you can copy and paste so you have a backup of one that works. But to be honest, just changing the name so it's Exile.Chernarus Redux, all one word, and boom, you're done right there. So what you're going to want to do here is make sure that under your config files, under the @server, you want to make sure that it's saying the right thing. It's pulling on the right mission. So just like we did before, Chernarus Redux. Very simple. Once that's set, you don't have to worry about messing with your database. You don't have to mess with really anything else. Oh, what do we have here? Looks like I messed something up. There we go. Good thing I caught that right there. So, saved. There's nothing else that you need to mess with because your database should already be set up. You can still use it and it'll be perfectly fine. So now that you've done this, what we're doing is we just want to make sure that now that the mission is going to load correctly just with the map itself. We're not adjusting any of the spawn points. We're not adjusting any of the traders or any custom content that may be in. So all you're going to want to do is go ahead and press double click your start bat and we'll launch it. And you're just going to sit here and wait and make sure it launches. So it may take a few minutes, it all depends, since you're not running a lot of mods or any custom scripts, and depending on the type of machine you're using, it won't take really too long. So just got to be a little patient. And wait for it to load. While we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get myself set up within my launcher, which I've already done here. I already have it saved in here, and what I'll have to do is once the server is loaded, or it's built itself and it's unlocked, you can go into your into the Arma launcher, and you may have to either manually find it, either going through the server section, or see, unlocked. Now we go to here, so you can either go to servers and go to internet, type in whatever name you have it as, look for it that way, or you can go to direct connect, which is down here, and you'll put in your server IP, the port, and if you have a password. So for me, I already have it saved under my favorites because I've already tested out the vanilla side. So as you can see right here, here's my Chernarus developer build test server that I already have going. So I'm going to go ahead and join it. You can see that now it has all the mods that are required. I'm going to go ahead and type in my password that I have set for it. I'm going to go ahead and load. Now this may take a few minutes, but let's just be a little patient and we'll be able to get right through this. Now just remember people, this is my first video, my first real live tutorial that I'm doing, so bear with me. A little choppy. If it doesn't look that great, over time hopefully I'll be able to get better. If you find this useful, please leave a like, subscribe. Below, leave in the comment section, and if you want to see any other tutorials, I'll be more than happy to do some more tutorials on either Exile, Arma, of those natures on how to install stuff, how to customize, because I do have some good knowledge, and I've been using Arma and Exile for quite a long time, so I have a good process on how to get things working. As you can see here in the top corner, Chernarus Redux is loading up. Seems to be loading up perfectly fine, but we'll get a good test once we're all the way in. Alright, ignore the little error message. That's still waiting for Exile to come up with their next update to get rid of some of these little errors that have been popping up since the last big Arma 3 update. So, just do make sure you read your errors and make sure it's not something that's not supposed to be there. So we're going to go ahead and commit suicide because I was in here already before. And I was probably in a weird spot in the map. So I'm going to go ahead and respawn. And the only reason that was like that is because I was on Tanoa. So now you can see it looked like I was out in the middle of the ocean. As you can see, all of the map markers are still there showing from Tanoa, but we're going to go ahead and get rid of those really, or I should say get rid of those really easy, and it won't take that long. I will provide a mission SQM for people to use for just a blanket spawn zone. So we'll just pick one real quick. Boom, puts us in the middle of the map. It's going to go ahead and put us in free fall and kill us for some reason. So let me check that out. Try that again. Here we go. So looks like it sorted itself out. Not a big deal. Don't threat. Doesn't work the first time. Just try it again just to make sure that it wasn't just a a little Arma Exile bug. It happens. Now the loot tables are not going to be working on this, and I will not be going over the loot tables in this video, just because that's a whole nother process that you need to deal with. Mainly what you're doing is just making sure that you can get the map to load and get your spawn points working. So as you can see, boom, it worked. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and disconnect and go back to our desktop and work through that. So all I'm going to do is just tab on out, minimize this. I'm going to find, as you can see, I got a lot of servers running. Close that down. Alright, so you're going to want to go to your mission, MP missions. You're going to want to unpack this. Boom, unpacked. Open it up. And you're going to go down to this folder right here, your mission.sqm. You're going to want to open this up. Well, actually first, you're going to want to make sure that you have copied what I have put in Pastebin. Let's go to my Chernarus Redux server. And we'll pull my this is mine that I use. I have no problem sharing it. There's nothing super special about it. All it is all of my little waypoints that need to be there. Or not waypoints, spawn points. I apologize for that. So we open that up. We're going to go ahead and just Control A, delete. Then you go to the new one, or the one that you're wanting to copy, which will be in a Pastebin. Control A, Control C, go into your new one. Control V, paste, and save. Very simple. Actually, you will need to get rid of these because I am running Ryan Zombies. You don't need that for your current the current vanilla build of getting CHR. Go ahead and close these out. And last thing you're going to want to do is you're going to go into your configuration file and make this quick, as we're going to look for environment. There we go. So for me to do that, all it was Control F, type in environment, and then you're going to look. You're going to change this. This way it sets things up. So all I do is I take a full copy of one that's already working. Copy, paste, change this to Chernarus Redux. And you enable anything you want to enable. Not a big deal. Or don't. But then save it. And that's all you really need. And that helps with the database with some of the things that are going on with the hunger and the thirst, so people aren't logging out and logging back in and getting everything reset. So once that's done, we go ahead, and I like to do, this is me personally, and I highly suggest this, is make a working folder. That way you can put the working BPO that you knew that was working beforehand, you plop it in there, then you take the one that you just edited, you go and pack it, get rid of the old one, go back to your launch parameters, go ahead and launch. So just gotta sit there and wait for a little bit. Make sure it's loading. Make sure you're not getting any errors. And as we can see, I have an error. So edit line encountered. Alright, so before you get rid of that, because you don't want to just delete it and you're trying to figure out, oh, what was the error, go back, open it up, and that is within the mission. Oh, and that's what it is. Forgot to get rid of a quotation mark. And it happens. It's not a big deal. You just go back and you double check. That's why it's always good to just take your time, overlook everything that you're trying to do, and make sure it's working. And that's why you usually, at least how I work, is I do one thing at a time. I change one thing, go in and test it. If it works, good. Move on, do the next change. If that change didn't work, then obviously I know that it was something within the change that I made that is not working. A lot of times that people have is when they go in and they make a lot of changes all at once, which I have been known to do myself, and I still do it sometimes to this day, is when you do have an error, you don't know what was causing the error because you just implemented 4 new scripts, and what's the problem? So it's always best to either install a mod one at a time, install a script one at a time, and do all your changes at once, or one time. So now obviously if a script requires multiple steps, take care of all those steps all at once, because obviously the script's not going to work unless you do that. But don't go trying to install multiple scripts at the same time. So load it up, make sure it gets unlocked. And it's unlocked. So back on my Arma 3, go to my recents, which it should be there for you. Oh, look, there it is. I'm going to go ahead, type in my little password. Now we're going to load. Boom. Alright, so we're in. Let's check our map. As you can see, all my spawn zones now are where I wanted to have them. So if you want to test them and make sure that they work correctly, which is smart to do, go ahead, put yourself to sleep, and wake back up at another spawn zone. So we'll try out Berezino first. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just mainly going to check this one real quick. And as you can see, it's working. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. And I look forward to making more videos, and I look forward to seeing your comments below on what you thought. Just remember, be kind. It's my first video. I hope you all enjoy this. If you have any questions, I'll have my Discord link below, and you can go ahead and contact me on my Discord for any questions. And alright, well, talk to you all later.